ever steps in the same river twice. For it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. Heraclitus, the fragmented, has left a plethora of sayings and metaphors just like this one, that express his ideas. Here are some more of Heraclitus' fragments. There is nothing permanent except change. Dogs bark at everyone they do not know. The eyes are more exact witnesses than ears. Some fragments of Heraclitus are simple, like the ones just mentioned. Others delve into his insights on God, life, and the soul. To God, all things are fair and good and right, but men hold some things wrong and some right. It is not good for men to get all they wish to get. It is sickness that makes health pleasant, evil good, hunger plenty, weariness rest. Heraclitus proposes having a clear state of mind by being sober. A man, when he gets drunk, is led by a beardless lad, tripping, knowing not where he steps, having his soul moist. The dry soul is the wisest and the best. Heraclitus speaks of war in some fragments, along with strife and justice. War is the father of all and the king of all. And some he has made gods, and some men, some bond, and some free. We must know that war is common to all, and strife is justice, and that all things come into being and pass away through strife. These are only a portion of his wise words and his worldview. In the enigmatic realm of ancient Ephesus, where the city's heartbeat resonated with cultural, commercial, and philosophical fervor, Heraclitus, often dubbed the Obscure or the Weeping, came into existence in the year 540 BCE. Nestled on the western coast of Asia Minor, Ephesus thrived as a significant hub not too distant from the philosophical hotbed of Miletus. This ancient Greek city, now part of present-day Turkey, played a pivotal role in the ebb and flow of ideas, acting as a nexus for cultural exchange and trade routes connecting the East and the West. His birthplace became a crucible for the formation of philosophical perspectives, ultimately propelling him into the spotlight of ancient Greek philosophy. Delving into Heraclitus' life, the medieval scholar Diogenes Laertius unveils the intricacies in his book, Lives of Eminent Philosophers. Amidst its pages, Heraclitus emerges not just as a philosopher, but as a discerning critic of his fellow Ephesians. Here is a quote from Diogenes. He attacks the Ephesians for banishing his friend Hermodorus. He says, "The Ephesians would do well to end their lives, every grown man of them, and leave the city to beardless boys, for that they have driven out Hermodorus, the worthiest man among them, saying, We will have none who is worthiest among us, or if there be any such, let him go elsewhere and consort with others." With such spite, he condones the Ephesians to commit suicide and let the city be run by the youth that remains. They later ask him to make laws. He is stricken by their audacity and replies that the city of Ephesus is in such a poor state that he does not see it worth fixing. In his own words here, he scorned the request because the state was already in the grip of a bad constitution. Heraclitus is primarily known for a work titled On Nature. Though it has not survived, fragments of this influential work, where he introduces his theories of the universe, have been quoted from later sources. A central theme of On Nature is the concept of flux, asserting that life is a constant, ever-changing phenomenon, and humans are inherently subject to continual transformation. Interestingly, the manuscript of On Nature was stored at the Temple of Artemis in Ephesus. One of the 7 wonders of the world, this temple later became Heraclitus' place of retirement. In a curious note, he is remembered for engaging in a game of knucklebones with young boys at the temple. When questioned by the Ephesians about his unconventional activities, Heraclitus retorts, "Why, you rascals, are you astonished? Is it not better to do this than to take part in your civil life?" Heraclitus believed that the underlying substance, or first principle, arche, of the cosmos is fire. According to Heraclitus, fire symbolizes the transformative and dynamic nature of reality. Fire is not only a physical element, but also a symbol of change, energy, and vitality. For Heraclitus, fire represents the process of constant transformation and the interplay of opposites, such as creation and destruction, life and death, order and chaos. The notion of panta rhei, everything flows, reflects his understanding that all things in the universe are in a perpetual state of flux, much like the flames of a fire, constantly changing shape and intensity. This constant flux is driven by the dynamic interplay of opposites, which Heraclitus referred to as the unity of opposites. Furthermore, Heraclitus believed in the existence of a universal order or principle that governs the cosmos, which he referred to as the Logos. The Logos represents the rational and orderly structure underlying the ever-changing world. It is through the Logos that the dynamic process of change is governed and organized, providing coherence and meaning to the universe. Even with the constant change or flux, we could see that Heraclitus wanted a sense of certainty or divine harmony through his concept of Logos, to give meaning to the chaos of constant change. Heraclitus is generally believed to have died around the year 475 BCE. As for the circumstances of his death, it's rather intriguing and comical, but keep in mind this is only a legend. Diogenes Laertius writes about it. Here is a quote. "Finally, he became a hater of his kind and wandered on to the mountains. And there he continued to live, making his diet of grass and herbs. However, when this gave him dropsy, he made his way back to the city and put his riddle to the physicians, whether they were competent to create a drought after heavy rain. They could make nothing of this, whereupon he buried himself in a cowshed, expecting that the noxious damp humor would be drawn out of him by the warmth of the manure. But, even as this was of no avail, He died at the age of 60. According to this legend, Heraclitus, who had been suffering from dropsy, edema or swelling due to fluid retention, sought relief in a dung pile, believing that the warmth of the decomposing manure would help alleviate his condition. This legend is most likely a jest against Heraclitus's riddles and metaphors. His fellow Ephesians did not like his witty, arrogant demeanor. They would much rather see him die in a dung pile. But in some regard, his work ended up in the temple of Artemis, so his words hold respect as time went on. This concludes the episode on Heraclitus. Join me in future episodes as we journey through the annals of Greek philosophy. If you like the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Hermes. See you next time.